The Wellness Report is brought to you by the Vermont Orthopedic Clinic in Killington, Vermont.
All right, we're here at the World Cup slopeside with the medical team that helps with all the world-class athletes. I'm joined by Dan Cole, Dr. Matt Gammons, and Dr. Mel Boynton here. And fellas, we're going to start over here with Dr. Gammons first. Matt, first a little bit about your background as a, how you got into the medical field.
Well, I was just an athlete growing up, and sports medicine was something that sort of attracted me after getting banged up a few times and being taken care of by guys like Dr. Boynton when I was younger, so it was a natural fit.
Dan, you're a physician's assistant here, and what's your role here with the ski team?
I'm helping out both Dr. Gammons and Dr. Boynton with the athletes, any assistance they need or any of the athletes, just another first part of the medical team.
I understand. Now, Dr. Mel Boynton, you have been involved with the U.S. ski team for many years, and you are an orthopedic surgeon. Yes. So you attend a lot of the races. I know you go to Europe with the team. Tell me a little bit about your role with the U.S. ski team.
I'm a team physician with the U.S. ski team for 20 plus years. Whereas I look after U.S. ski team athletes, while we're here, Matt and Dan are here for all the athletes for all the countries.
Now, you all three are affiliated with the Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. It's based here in Rutland, Vermont. It's got one of the most highly recognized orthopedic staffs in the country, probably because we're so very close to ski country, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. We see a lot of trauma.
With your experience working with the world-class athletes, how much does that allow you to be on the cutting edge of medicine?
Well, I think it forces you to stay on top of things because they always have lots of questions about what's coming next and what we can do and how can I get back faster and what's the best way for me to get back to the level I was at. So it's a natural thing where they're always pushing us to make sure we're staying on top of our game.
Dr. Boynton, with your experience with doing your surgical work, what experience have you gained working with the world-class athletes that could help a recreational skier such as myself? Are there things like you learned from those athletes that you could apply to your everyday patients?
There's a ton of parallels, and Chris, that's a great question. Athletes have forced us to up our game throughout all of medicine, and it used to be, you get hurt, you have a sore knee, skiing, well, maybe you shouldn't ski. Now athletes are like, no, I don't want to hear that. They're on their way to somewhere else. Now it's about, okay, your knee hurts skiing, we can make that better. We can get that so you can be back out in the hill, enjoying that well into your 80s, maybe even your 90s.
Well, I hope to be there. So that would be like 60 years for me to get to that point. Sure it would be. And Dan, how long have you been involved with the orthopedic clinic?
Approximately 10 years now. It's been a great experience for me, and growing up ski racing in New England, so this was just a natural fit for me.
Have you ever been on the other side of the table like Dr. Gammons here as a patient?
Yes, I have, and that's probably one of the reasons I got into this field myself, just like Dr. Gammons.
And like all you guys, I know you've been a patient also, Dr. Boynton, but I myself too, and it's working very good.
Good.
Testimonial right here. This guy put me back together, and almost 20 years ago, but it's feeling great. Now, I mentioned the Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. It's based here in Rutland. You guys have a satellite office right here at Ram's Head, right at the ski area. Tell us about that.
So we run in the wintertime the Killington Medical Clinic. Unfortunately, sometimes people are going to get hurt up here. It's not too many, but when you do, we want to be here to give you the best care, and doing that right on the mountain is generally the best for most people.
Yep. And then if it gets a little worse, I have a clinic also, your operation down in Rutland. Tell us about that.
Standard sort of orthopedic clinic down in Rutland. The neat thing is our tie-in to the ski academies, into the ski patrol, into our branch, the Killington Medical Clinic, making access readily available all the time.
Now, Matt, you mentioned earlier before you went on air, this stuff doesn't just happen overnight. There's some pioneers that we have to maybe speak to that were here as skiers, and you mentioned a few names before we started filming. Why don't we talk about that?
Oh, fair enough. So one thing really neat, where you got to build our foundation here off of what Ed Holmes, Dr. Ed Holmes established many years ago as one of the original ski team physicians. Highly recognized athletic injury physician for up and down the East Coast and actually all over the nation. That really gave us a great start. We've been able to build from there, and then had a great start with the Killington Medical Clinic years ago as well. I'll leave that to Matt to give you a bit of history there.
Yeah, Matt?
So both Jim Russell, who still works at the clinic, and Jim Jordan, who has unfortunately passed away, were two docs that ran the clinic for a lot of years. When I was a fellow training, I came and rotated with them, and that's how I learned some of this trade and actually learned about the Killington area because I hadn't spent much time here before. But shout out to those guys because they really advanced ski medicine a long way. When there was a time when not much research was going on, those guys were involved in it.
Yes, true pioneers, all skiers themselves, and as you mentioned earlier, Mel, the athletes are like, they don't want to hear that. I'm out of the game, I'm injured, put me back, whatever it takes, I want to get back in there. So whether you're a world-class athlete or whether you are a recreational skier just having some fun, you got to know that you've got some of the best doctors in the nation, maybe in the world, right here in the Rutland area, right up here at Killington, that can take care of you. So for Dan Cole, PA, Dr. Matt Gammons, Dr. Mel Boynton, thanks so much, and hopefully, guys, we will not need your services here at the race or at all, but enjoy the race.